Today, we're sitting down with Dawna, someone whose story is all about growth, honesty, and strength. She's been on a real personal and educational journey, learning from her past, overcoming struggles, and building a future she's proud of. Dawna has faced challenges head on, including addiction, and she's coming out of them more motivated, more focused, and more connected to her purpose. She's here to share her achievements, what keeps her going, and the goals that are driving her forward. Help me in welcoming Dawna to the episode. Welcome to the show, Dawna. Thank you for being here today. Let's start. We'll go right into it. Let's start with your childhood years. What was it like when you were younger? What was your high school? What were your high school years like?
My high school years, geez. I was a really good student starting off high school. I went to a school where we did Sec 1, Sec 2 in one school, and then we switched to another school and did 3 to 5. And when I switched, that was the change. Sec 1, Sec 2, I was getting really good marks, 90s, 80s. I was in a higher level, doing really good. And then, like I said, I switched at the other school, and that's where things went a little south.
What do you mean by that?
I changed my crowd of friends. I changed my group of friends. I got involved in drugs, sadly. Every student, I feel like, dabs in it a bit here and there, but I don't know, I knew I had a problem, but didn't want to admit it. I was going to class high and didn't even I would skip class. I was still getting good marks for Sec 3, and then Sec 4 was brutal. And I tried going to different schools, but I still had that addiction going, and it was really tough for me after that. In elementary school, I was bullied because I had glasses on. I was bullied because I had a French teacher call my name the wrong way because I have a W in my name. They call me Dawna or Dawna.
The teacher.
So yeah, the teacher. So the students in the classrooms were bullying me, and I don't know, I guess going to high school, wanting to fit in, want to be with the cool kids. Also, maybe growing up, there was a lot of, I had good moments growing up, luckily there was my mom. She was a very strong mother, and I'm very grateful she was in my life. And she always showed us the right way and the right way of doing things. And she tried to keep me on a straight path.
Talking back about what you said, where things changed for you, like at what point did it start going downhill?
When I changed group of friends, and I knew some students in the lower levels. And when I started hanging around those students, I then started like, oh, let me go try a joint with them. Oh, let me try a beer. Or let me try,
Where did that lead to?
That led to a lot of missed classes, bad grades, hanging around, I was hanging around with adults 20 years older than me. I'm 15, 16, and I'm hanging around with almost 40-year-olds.
Wow.
Yeah. So
how did you end up with that crowd?
I don't know. I mean, there was even my grandmother had passed away. That too could be a very good, I think that too made a very big impact. My grandmother, I was so close to her, and she was passing away. She passed away when I was 12, 2012. Yeah, something like that, around 12. And I knew she was passing away. I knew eventually because she had cancer, and it kept escalating to new cancers, and that's never a good sign. So that didn't help. It just deteriorated me even more. And I don't know, I guess the bad kids, the adrenaline I was getting with them, stealing stuff, and
How long did this last for? Are we talking a couple of weeks, a couple of months, or was it a couple of years?
No, definitely years. Definitely years. Yeah.
So in the midst of all that, what helped you change in the middle of all that?
With rehabilitation and all that, I learned a lot about addiction, and I am a true addict. I can't smoke a joint once a week. I can't. It's not in me to do that. You know, like it's excessive. Like I start something, I need to finish it, and then I'll look for more, and it was really bad. So it lasted a long time, and why I stopped was because it was just too much. I remember sitting down in this nasty environment, and I said, "What am I doing?" Like a few times that happened, but there was that one moment where I said, no, something has to change. Like, this is not me. This is not what how my mother brought me into this world, thinking that I would become like this. Like, that was never something she thought or I thought would happen to me in my life. So I then made a switch.
So in that moment, you never, like, you wouldn't have pictured yourself being there.
Oh
It's not
no.
something you would have
No,
done.
I pictured myself like I got sober at 23. So I pictured myself at 23 almost married and finishing my what do you call it, schooling, thank you. And you know, it never happened. So
You mentioned to me in the past something about an accident. Where does that
yes,
fall into your whole story?
so that happened when I was 18. I was really trying to get back into school, and you know, I was trying to make a little change, and then I got hit by a car in 2016.
Right?
It was a hit and run. Yeah, a hit
In
and
Montreal?
run. Yeah, Montreal downtown, and my mom was there. They called the ambulance, called my parents right away, and they came. She was telling me that there was two surgeons at once, and then another surgeon a little later. So I think it was my stomach and my head at the same time, because your stomach, I think I had an ruptured spleen and a large intestine erupted. So they had to, that was like the urgents were those. And then they eventually fixed my hip. And it took almost a year to fully, like, physically and mentally rehabilitate. I had a broken hip, a brain trauma, which was a little rough. I had to relearn how to talk and walk.
Was there anything like any like permanent like brain damage, anything like that, or concussions, or like what happened up there?
So yeah, my brain trauma, they were explaining to me, it's like it's really 10 times worse than a concussion. They're explaining to me like that. And they were explaining to me that because of my age, I was young, right? I was 18, and I was still sober in the hospital. So they said, because of that, your brain should go back to the way it was, but there's always going to be those little, like, your brain is like a sponge, or it's like your biggest muscle, right? So if you keep working your muscle, your brain, the more you'll be able to do.
So you were battling addiction, and then you get into this accident. Was that the turning point for you? I don't think so, right?
No, sadly, no.
Okay.
You would think, but no.
It's another challenge.
Yeah.
Did it become worse after the?
It did. It really did. It got really worse. I did things that I thought I would never do, and I did, sadly. Tried a few times to get sober. Quite a few times. You know, so I had a few moments like that. But you know, when you just had enough, like my rock bottom, I hit my rock bottom. Like, my mom didn't really want me around. She was like kind of scared of me. She wasn't sure how I was going to react sometimes, because with the brain trauma and addiction, it's a terrible combination. We all have our moments in life. I'm sure even you guys. We struggle. We have a bad day, a bad week, you know. But like for me in the past, what I would do on a bad day was say, screw everything. I don't want to deal with this problem. I want to go numb myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where it's really rough for people freshly coming into the program, into recovery. And that's why I always tell them, like, just be strong and remind yourself of those nasty moments you had before. And you admitted it before, like, you know what I mean? We admit coming into the program and recovery that we had a problem. and we don't want to go back to that life. I try to remind
So, Dawna, how did you end up, after all this, how did you end up at Galileo?
Good question. I heard about Galileo a long time before. So I think I was 8, 9, 10, whatever. Because my brother is 10 years older than me, and someone that he knew was coming to Galileo, and I said, "Oh, it's true." And anyways, I remembered from there that Galileo is an option, and
did you know you wanted to go back to school? Like, were you ready to
right? So I got sober at 23. I went straight back to finishing my rehabilitation for my brain trauma. I had seen a few different therapists. One was an speech therapist. Oh, the other one was an occupational therapist. But the main one who was trying to help me, guide me back into school was my speech therapist. And we barely had any sessions, and I found it weird. I'm like, how come I don't have much sessions with her? And she was telling me, she's like, out of all the tests, I think you're ready to go back to school, because one of the things they asked me going in there was, what are your goals, right? You're in a rehabilitation, what's your end goal? And one of my end goals was to go to school. I wanted to, since I was young, I think I was 16, 17. I remember going into those student fair things, where all the colleges come in. Anyway, so I go there and I grabbed a few pamphlets, and radiology stood out to me, and I really liked that. I always did. But to do that program, I needed to come to an adult education center. And here I am, and I am very, very grateful to be here. I've met such incredible people and incredible teachers, such as you.
Stop. No, the staff is great, honestly. From the minute you walk in, the secretaries, the front end staff, beautiful, like amazing people.
Yeah.
But also, you've made a lot of friends here. Like I see how you've blossomed from day one. From hearing your story and really learning about your goals and what you wanted to achieve, I feel like you've done that, and I see the strong will in you. Yeah. So what is something you look back and you're like, I can't believe I achieved this?
Whoa.
You did a few things
I was
in the last 2 years. Should I remind you of the big one?
Well, that's what I was thinking of, the scholarship. Yeah, like I won a scholarship. I started crying. I never thought.
So did I. Obviously, I know the struggle that you went through, Dawna. Like you've relayed so many personal stories with me, and so it was a no-brainer when you stood up there and accepted that award. I was like,
I was about to tear up.
Yeah, it was so great. I'm gonna cry right now. I don't know about you, but it's just great. I know your story and your struggle, and I was just saying to myself, this girl, this woman deserves to be here today, and I'm so proud of what you've accomplished. So tell us a bit about that scholarship, really quickly in one line. You won a scholarship.
I won a scholarship for being a great student. And that's another thing I'm really surprised in, is how fast I did so many modules.
I know.
I was like, what the hell? It just shows the hard work.
Yeah, I've been putting in a lot of hard work, and I still am willing to, and I'm not done. I know I'm not finished, but I'm gonna get there.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
I remind myself that everything's possible if I just believe. You know what I mean? I know we say that often, but literally, if I put my mind to something, I will do it, and I'll do it more than I expected. It'll come out. Like if I have this art project to do, I'm not the best art. You know what I mean? I'm not the biggest thing in art, but I'll make a very nice painting type of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I give my best. Yeah.
So, are you ready to lighten up the mood a little bit? Okay. So we do something with all of our guests. It's called the rapid fire round, where I'm gonna ask you about 10 questions, this or that, and you just say the first thing that comes to mind. Okay. So, are you ready, Dawna?
Da, 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 da.
Winning a trophy or nailing the routine?
Nailing the routine.
Music or silence when you need to focus?
Music.
Morning classes or afternoon classes?
Morning. I get the afternoon off. Yeah.
Books or audiobooks?
Books. Oh,
One step at a time or go all in?
I don't know.
Tough one.
One step at a time.
Good.
I need to know what I'm doing.
Dance studio vibes or gym vibes?
Dance studio vibes.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Shadow a doctor or shadow a radiologist?
Radiologist.
So this is a tough one.
All right.
Listen carefully. That's a good one. What feels better? Learning something new or relearning something you thought you had lost?
Oof, I don't know. Something old. The second
Learning
one.
something new you thought you lost.
That's right.
Very good, Dawna. Good job.
Thank you.
So one final question. Ivan, do you want to ask the final one?
Yeah. If there's anything or any type of message or any life lesson that you would tell to the people watching this, what would it be? Like whether it involving anything, overcoming, vision, anything.
There's always gonna be a little bumps on the road, but just keep going, and I'm sure you'll be super proud of yourself, just like I am of myself. And yeah, I think that's it.